filming this intro because I have it like in my head that I'm gonna fill the intro in my finished garment. Like I'm gonna film an intro in my finished garment, and just in case that doesn't happen, I'm just gonna do an extra intro now. So we've been doing a bit of a series on satin lutterloh system and the pattern making of my dresses. And last time I showed you how to make a pattern from the lutterloh system, and more specifically so, I also designed a pattern for a satin top with a bow back closure finish and boat neckline. So here we are. I've done some prep work already today. We have the back center piece with the long long straps to be able to make the bow. We have our center front piece, and then we have our front side piece, and then we also have our back side piece, which would go like so, right? Yeah. So we have all of our pieces cut. I've also traced out the pattern on all of the pieces. I did that on a project a while back, and I just found that the outcome was so much more precise. So I'm just gonna commit myself to doing that every time from now on. We are not doing any lining today. I have both found a love for bias tape, so we're gonna use bias tape for our armholes, for the neckline, and then also for our back long pieces. And then I'm actually deciding to not do lining. I want to do some really crisp French seams today. So the first thing that we're gonna do is sew all of these pieces together by the vertical seams and the shoulder seams, and we're gonna sew them wrong sides together. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Doing a first test. It seems to be looking pretty good for the fit. I think the neckline needs a little bit of a trim, but also we've only done the first part of the French seam, so I still have at least like 4 or 5 centimeters that will come off additionally for a tighter fit. And I can conclude that these are long enough. Maybe they'll end up like a bow on the front, or we'll go with the bow design on the back, but so far I'm pretty happy. Also the straps will provide like a bit more length to the top, so that's also good. All right, let's move on to the next step. The next step is trimming off all of the excess seam allowance, which I'm just doing for all of the vertical seams first, and then I'll do the shoulder seams at the very end. No particular reason other than that I find that to be the easiest. Once I've trimmed all of these, we will then turn it back right sides together, and then we'll match up our patterns and sew the actual pattern lines right sides together, which will hide these on the outside like this. So classic French seam. But let me just trim first, and then I'll pin her up, and I'll come back to you guys. I've put in what feels like 100 needles. And it's time to just do all the vertical stitches again. Like I said, I'll come back to the shoulder ones after I've done these. I've made sure, this is also why I marked out my patterns, I've made sure to line up my pattern on both sides. It's really important when doing a French seam that you actually do get to tuck it all the way in. So like pushing a bit on the stitches when you're pinning is a great thing. And then because I noticed when I tried it on that I still have quite a lot of room, I'll be going about 2 to 3 millimeters inside of my pattern, just to make sure that I don't have any of that hem peeking out on my right side. So I'm gonna sew all the vertical stitches, come back to the shoulders, and then it's time to start cleaning up some edges and doing some bias tape. We now have some really nice and clean inner seams. The markings will go away in the wash or they'll disappear, so that I'm not worried about that. They're super clean and nice on the inside, and super clean and nice on the outside as well. No fabric peeking through. Also did the shoulders, so they also have the French seam finish. Now it's time for me to trim a bit because I'm doing bias tape around both the armholes and the neckline, and also decided to do all of the, the long backside pieces as well as the waistline. I just have a lot of biased tape work to do and trimming to do. So I'm gonna make sure that I trim down so that I have about half a centimeter up to my pattern markings. I'm gonna do that all around, also on the armholes, and then I'm just gonna start measuring bias tape basically. I really hope I have enough. I'm thinking that I'll do dark blue for the neckline, armholes, and also the waist, and then I'll do white bias tape along all the way down along the back pieces and down towards the finish here. I'm also thinking, since it's a bow, I kind of want to cut the cut these long bands a bit of an angle, so I'm gonna do that too. I'll meet you back once I have trimmed and bias taped. And then I guess we're pretty close to the finish line. It is a fresh day and a fresh blow dry, and I think I spent, I think I tried to do the math. I did somewhere around the lines of 25 or 30 meters of bias tape sewing, because you do them all twice, right? And this top is like 3.5 meters wide. So yeah, anyway, she is done, guys. So let's take a look at what she looks like. I'll show you just quickly how I tie the tie, and then I'll show you the full top and outfit. And if you want to stick around and see how I'm gonna alter the pattern, you can do that too. So here we go. happy with the top, but like I said in the beginning of the lutterloh video, it's important to test sew. And even though the top turned out to fit, so what I already knew to alter from the lutterloh system helped me, I would do a few adjustments more if I were to make it again, which I actually think I will. It's a really, really nice fit. It has a very like wow effect. With the bow, it ended up on the front rather than the back because you just need so much more. You need so much longer ties to do it. But you can tie it in the back as well. I've tried that. Anyway, I did do a little bit of a check of the pattern yesterday. So the first thing I would do, even though my straps are actually covering me extra on my stomach, I would add another like 5 or 6 centimeters along the border edge. So that's one. The second thing I would do is I would enlarge the armhole a bit. So I've just drawn out here on my pattern that I would like to make it a wider armhole, especially here. So the back piece, back pieces and side pieces is where I would take the most. I would also like to move my dart a little bit. Right now it's just on the side here, like straight into my armhole, and I would like to move it up so that it would be a more straight line down on the front. And then the last thing, rookie mistake, I should have just followed the neckline here and made my boat neckline from the measurements of the system. I decided to raise it a bit, which kind of gave me like I'm choking a little bit here on the front. So I already cut a bit more before I did the bias tape, but I should have done more, basically. So yeah, that's it guys for this week and this satin top. We're moving on to the rest of my DIY list as we go, so stick around if you made it this far. I'll see you next Monday. Bye.